would you describe the sound of your music?
Exactly like Hall & Oates.
I don't know, rock.
Yeah, we're all about rock, I think.
Soft-spoken rock.
Soft rock.
Heavy, but with love.
Yeah, positive heaviness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate that question.
I'm gonna let Brad field that one.
Oh, no. I just got done.
Dave probably has this one.
What do you think, Brad?
It's loud.
Yeah. Sloppy?
Sloppy, old-timey.
Best appreciated with alcohol.
Yeah.
Guacamole, 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 make it guacamole, 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 make it guacamole.
You know, we're a garage rock band. We're a punk rock band, a rock and roll band.
Loud.
Lead everything.
Yeah.
Lead everything?
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Lead drums, lead vocals, lead guitar.
Complicated, but moving, but not cluttered.
Kind of eclectic. Vladimir plays guitar and sings. I don't really know what style she plays. Not really folky, not really rocky. I alternate on as many instruments as I can possibly play during the course of one song.
Instrumental, dynamic, rock influences, but also post-rock influences.
On every song, Slim's playing folk rock, and Martian's playing Motown, and I'm playing trash rock, so the way the band sounds depends on whose amp you're closest to. And if you back up enough and hear all three amps, that's what we sound like.
Well, on the original version of our album, Lakeway Overdrive, it says at the top, file under fuck you rock and roll. So that's what we play. We play fuck you rock and roll.
Well, we're kind of a poppy,
annoying,
loud band.
Oh, loud.
We're kind of loud.
Yeah.
Especially when I use my distortion pedal.
He likes it.
I think we sound like what we do and how we are. In a nutshell.
Sometimes we have really good gimmicks. We always try to think of a new costume every time we play. What all have we had? Running suits, animal costumes.
You were animals?
No, I was a bee.
It's guitar and drums, so whatever you can do with that. It's a lot of noise and rhythm. We both want to play dance music, so we're trying to move towards dance improv right now.
Fuck does the music sound like? It sounds like just big swells of lushness, hopefully, with some rhythmic intent involved. Fuck yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I would say simple and loud and just kind of gritty in that, you know, bluesy, rocky sort of way.
Sometimes we have a typewriter. We went on tour with a typewriter and a ukulele. So in that case, there was not a guitar. And sometimes we have a drummer. It's pretty good when we have a drummer.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, it's very Pixie simple, but as long as you play with the dynamics and you make it like emotionally interesting, then you can pull simple off pretty good.
Dan's taught me a lot because he added a new word to my vocabulary called dynamic, which means
a big day for us.
That was such a beautiful day because that enables
you got that quiet, loud thing, quiet.
Loud thing, yeah. But then to actually throw a whole nother part into the song, I mean, I was stoked just play the same little, 4 or 5 note riff.
The middle part.
Yeah,
the middle section.
Yeah. And so then we just became very mathematical. There's this part, and then that part, and then back to that part. Well, that's about it. But that's math. That's like secondary school math.
For a small town like this, that's, most people don't know what Bellingham, Washington is, but, they probably recognize bands that are from here or that play around here. And, like I said earlier, any night or, weekends especially, you can see good bands, not just shitty local bands, I mean, they are local bands, but they're not shitty,
Yeah. You can't be in Bellingham and not notice the music scene going on.
I have a hard time keeping track of it. I usually have to carry a little notebook because people will say, "Oh, I'm in this new band," or "I'm doing this kind of thing," and I have to, write something down about it, or I'm totally gonna space out.
It's really weird because there's this like a small town full of kids who got nothing better to do.
Lots of hippies.
Lots of hippies too. Then play rock and roll, and you've got like a lot of kids that are like
not hippies.
I'm distracted by that guy. That guy's distracting me. Okay, I'm not distracted now. But you've got a lot of people who are interesting because they've got like the punk roots and the punk influences, but they don't play up straight up punk rock.
It's more of a scene up here because everybody's into it. Even though there's not a lot of exposure, everybody just wants to have a good time and go see their friends play.
Everyone is friends, and we all play music with each other in random side projects, which is really nice. But overall, there's just a very strong sense of family among all bands in Bellingham.
It didn't used to be good. A lot of band bickering and shit. But now it's a very close-knit
Band
community.
bickering? Like, you think bands hated each other?
There were bands that hate. You know what bands like would talk shit about other bands?
Did anybody ever talk shit about us?
Probably cheap.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes.
In a small town, you have more people playing music just for the fuck of it. And I think it's easier in a small town to be more idealistic about like DIY, and like there ain't shit going on. Let's try to do this, try to make it have fun.
I think that Bellingham attracts people who could be doing this kind of stuff professionally in any city in the States, and that it raises the bar a little bit, I think. Really talented people who for some reason decide to stay here.
And each band's got their own little different draw, and so when you get the different bills, I really like shows that have really wide-ranging bills because then you get that mix of people there. I mean, we attract older alcoholics and metalheads, and you throw that, with our Reeks and the Racks with all the cool kids, and it's just a party waiting to happen. It's great.
It's always changing.
New bands coming, old bands going, new places opening up, old places closing down, new places closing down, old places opening up.
It's really accepting. We play with a lot of bands that don't sound anything like us, and it works out, and it's fun. It's always good to be back.
Oh, it's all isolated up here, so
we're cut off from the rest of the world.
Yeah. We're in our bomb shelter, and everybody's just kind of doing what they want to do.
There's not a whole bunch of venues, but there's like little tiny venues that always pop up every place, and it seems like I know guys that play in bands in Seattle, and to them there's like no place to play, even though it's a huge town. And up here, it seems like there's a million places you can play. It seems relatively. I think the scenes really thrives up here, and I love the diversity in all the bands in Bellingham. Like everybody seems to be doing something completely different. To the most part, completely different from what everybody else is doing.
With the college here, I think it's cool because you got that hometown core of people that are always here and doing their thing, but there's like this fresh audience that keeps getting pumped through. Some of them dig it, some of them don't, but there's enough coming through that there'll always be enough new kids that have never seen what you've done, and as long as you let them know that you're here, they'll come and check it out.
People are just like there to have a good time, and that's it. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the music scene here isn't a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas in other cities it is a business.
Nobody in this town really, it's a good thing, all the people who are excited about whatever it is, like if it's rock or if it's like noise or if it's like bluegrass, all these people are playing in this town with like no real ambitions, or like they could give a shit less about trying to make it bigger. That sounds cliche, but I mean for real, everyone's just playing because they like playing, you know.